I'm going to share something with you, if there are no questions, that I'm not proud of, and I just ask you don't judge me on this. I mentioned Maury Povich earlier on. While I was in New York, I met him. Well, I went to a taping. I got to sit in the studio audience and watch the Maury Povich show, because we get it in England, and there's one type of Maury Povich show I love. And I was praying the day I turned up, they'd be doing one of those shows where they get the wild teenage girls and they send them to the boot camp. Have you seen those shows? I love those shows. I love them. They're always the same. You get the parents coming out first of all. Maury, we can't cope. She's only 13. She's already slept with over 100 guys. Last year she smoked pot at her grandmother's funeral. Please help Maury Povich. Please send our little bitch to boot camp. So the girl comes out and the whole crowd, they start booing. And I thought that would be so much fun to be in the audience and be a part of that. Well, we've heard what she's like. Let's bring her out. Come on out, Tiffany. Boo! 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 Because that gets Tiffany really pissed. She's like, yeah. Boo! Boo! Tiffany, boo! Do you know what they were doing when I showed up for Maury Povich? They weren't doing the boot camp. Have a guess, anybody, what they were doing? Who's My Daddy? Oh no, I'd have been quite happy with Who's My Daddy. I like Who's My Daddy. Well, when it comes to 3-month-old Felicia, I'm afraid, James, you are not the father. But I told you, you were ho, you were ho, you were ho, you were ho. I like that. I like that. That's fun. I like that. No, they weren't doing Who's the Daddy. I'll tell you what they were doing the day I showed up for Maury Povich. They were doing a bloody makeover show. A makeover! They had a woman, one woman for the whole hour, one woman. Maury, I can't get a boyfriend. Can you get someone to put makeup on my face and make my hair pretty so I'll be more attractive? I couldn't believe they were putting this shit on television. And this woman, she wasn't ugly, she didn't need a makeover, she was a little bit fat, a little bit fat. All she needed was to exercise and to eat sensibly. I was on my feet screaming, send that bitch to Buka! Send her Buka! So I'm single. I think women are better than men at knowing if they've got the right partner, you know? When men will do things on the dates that women will look at and immediately they've worked out his personality. Things that the other way round, the guy would have no clue. I'll give you an example, right? First date, they go back to his place and she sees that his coffee maker has got property of Motel 6 written on the side. She now knows 2 things about him. Number 1, he's a thief. Number 2, she stays with him, she's going on shitty vacations. How are we doing on the time level? Okay, we're all right for another 5 minutes or so. Have we got a question yet? Any questions yet? You're a very nice guy. Is there a question? I heard a yes. Shh. Who's got a question for me? Nobody. Oh, I do like the questions. All right, I'll tell you some things about me. You got one, please. Throw it out there. Sorry, do I drive where? Yeah, I drive in England. I obviously drive on the side of the road that I'm used to, and I've carried on that tradition here. And I've got to say, there's a lot of bad drivers in this country. All the way down there, I-85, I'm having to drive in the face of oncoming traffic, madam. It wasn't pretty. Any more questions? Thank you, that's a nice question. Yes?
Why do you not let Sri Lankans into London? Why do you not let Sri Lankans into London? He's trying to get a transit visa.
Why do I not let Sri Lankans into London? Well, you're right, sir. It was entirely my decision. And to be honest, right answer is, it's not all Sri Lankans, it's just him. We don't like him. That's all it was. So I'm sorry about that, sir. You'll have to go to France. That's the only way. Any more questions? Yes, I'll put the microphone here so everybody can hear you.
Why do you get to pick on Yankees?
Why do I get to pick on Yankees? What is a Yankee? American? I don't understand. Why am I picking on Yankees? I've been very nice about the Yankees. Do you think I've been horrible? your allies, sir. We were your allies. We were there right inside George Bush's ass the whole way. You know it. You know it's true. I couldn't believe some of the technology in that war. You know, I remember I was watching like 3 in the morning. I was watching CNN. They'd actually put, this was the Iraq war. They'd actually put a camera on top of a missile, right? You could see the missile's view as it went up into Baghdad, and I thought this is incredible. Now I've got digital cable, right? Suddenly this message came up on my screen: choose target. Just before I came out on this trip, someone tried to mug my grandmother in England. She was in a park, and a guy came up to her, this is exactly what happened, and just said, "Money, I want money, give me money now." Right? My grandmother, she's really sharp. She's 84, but she's a smart lady, and what she did was brilliant. She just pretended she was a bit mad. She looked at him and she went, "Oh, hello. My name's Barbara. What's your name? It's so nice to meet you." And the guy got confused. He didn't know what to do, and he didn't get to mug her. And the best thing is, 5 minutes later, the guy was going, "My money's gone." My favourite book is an American book. I wonder if anyone's read it. It's The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. Anyone read that? That is my favourite book, ladies and gentlemen. An amazing novel, The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. Oh, and something I didn't tell you earlier, and please don't judge me. When I flew to New York from London a few weeks ago, I attacked a stranger on an aeroplane. I'm going to tell you what happened, and you judge for yourself whether I did the right thing or not. This is absolutely what happened. I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. I was one of the first people on the plane. I'm in coach. I'm near the back, right? I'm sitting and I'm reading a book. As I'm reading my book, I became aware of a smell. I looked up and I knew it was that guy coming down the aisle. There are other people sitting around me. We all knew it was that guy, and we're all thinking, please God, do not let him be sitting next to me. This is an 8-hour flight. I could not cope with it. He was sitting next to me, ladies and gentlemen. I was on the aisle. He was there on the middle seat, and his wife was by the window. The second he sat down, he unbuttoned his shirt on the aeroplane completely, sat there like this, and his wife took the laminated plastic safety card and used it to fan his open chest, like this. He's sitting there like this. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen. I'm sitting next to him here, so my head basically is there next to his armpit, right? I'm trying to read my book. I can't concentrate on my book. When we get to 36,000 feet, the guy spots a spare row about 3 rows back, and he goes and sits there, leaving his wife with the 2 seats here. I think that's the end of my problems. I'm wrong, because the second she's got 2 seats to herself, she lifts up the armrest, she takes off her shoes, she curls up, putting her head by the window, and she sticks her stinking, stockinged feet into my leg, into my thigh, right? The first time this happens, I kind of go like that to shake her feet off, right? And she moves them, but the feet keep coming back, and the feet keep sticking into my thigh and sliding up and down against my leg. I couldn't believe it, and I didn't know I was going to do this, and I didn't mean to do this, and I didn't even plan to do it. It's the only time in my life I've lost my temper with a stranger. I just took this book that I was reading, and I went whack like that. And that is why The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck is my favourite book. Thank you.